The Hourly Alarm by Mrs. Seusha Haridas. I attended an SSO conference in Indonesia while serving as the Zonal Young Adult Coordinator for Zone 4 of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization, SSO. We, international delegates, were traveling to the venue in the car of a Sai brother who had kindly picked us up. The car was packed with delegates, and I ended up sitting beside him in the front seat. With a smiling face, this brother seemed to have a divine aura. As we were driving uphill, I heard the sound of a gong coming from his phone. None of the others seemed to hear it, as there was much talking in the back seats. At this point, the brother pulled the car to the side of the road and closed his eyes as if in deep meditation for a few moments. Then, he resumed driving normally as if nothing had happened. What was that about, I wondered? We reached the conference venue and were getting out of the car when another gong emanated from his phone. Just as we were alighting, I asked him, "Are you coming?" "You carry on," he said. "I'll come in a minute." Curious, I walked on but turned to see that he was doing the same thing again, closing his eyes as serenity spread across his face. I was intrigued and decided to find out what he was up to. Later in the day, I located him and asked, "Brother, I noticed that you stopped to meditate every time a gong sounded on your phone. I'm sorry to pry, but do you mind sharing what you are doing?" He smiled and replied, "The Lord is so gracious, and He looks after everything for everyone at every moment." Isn't that amazing? I feel I should be grateful for that always. So, I developed this habit of saying thank you to Swami every year, for myself, and on behalf of everyone in the world. That gong you heard is my hourly reminder. I was blown away and deeply touched by his response. I understood why he carried that amazing aura. It was a divine gift from his attitude of gratitude. Start the day with God. Since that day, I, too, made it a point to express my gratitude to Swami as much as possible in a day, if not hourly, inspired by that brother. It makes me feel magically connected to Swami and reminds me that He's always with me, in me. By remembering Him throughout the day, I feel I am living with my Swami in my Prashanti Nilayam. In my current phase in life, I am primarily a mother of two, a teacher and a baker. Hari and I spend the morning looking after my 6-year-old son and preparing him for school. On the way, we made it a practice to pray together in the car. We focus on Swami mindfully, with intent, till we feel He is with us. After dropping him off and on the way back home, I sometimes listen to spiritual audiobooks or talks as I go for a short walk. Sometimes, I practice watching my thoughts and letting them go without holding on to them during the walk. By doing this, I have enjoyed some profound moments when there are no thoughts at all. There is a beautiful silence that is so blissful. It is such silence in which we hear the voice of Swami within. At such times, if you look for Swami, you'll see Him everywhere, in the buildings, in the trees, and in animate and inanimate beings. Somehow, reaching this point of silence slows down time, and I feel I can achieve more and focus better, thanks to the deep stillness within. Fill the day with God. Once I'm back home, it's time to bake. I run my small business, This is Shilsjaya, from home, and there are orders almost every day. I'm very happy to say that Swami is the love ingredient in my cakes. As I bake, I have a habit of saying Sai Ram with each ingredient I add to my batter, as my grandmothers did before me. This is because energy is also a critical ingredient we add to food. Saying Sai Ram nullifies all unwanted vibes and fills the food with goodness and love. Some days, I have my customers telling me, Seusha, we could taste the love in the cake. That's what Sai Ram seems to do so regularly, too. After that, it is back to precious mother-daughter time, as I spend time with my 2.5-year-old daughter. We play, read, and paint for a while, and then we go to pick up my son from school. On the way back, we spend some time in the park. Returning home, we have lunch together and play some more. And then I begin my other profession as a teacher. Spend the day with God. I tutor at home from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. most days. Here, too, just like in my baking, I ensure that Swami's name and Swami's love are the key ingredients, and it shows. I have gained a reputation as a special needs tutor when, in fact, I have no training in special needs education. Over the years, I have had counselors and therapists reach out to me, seeking help for students with difficulties in learning at school. With humility and gratitude to Swami, I can say that in 14 years, 99% of my students who have appeared for competitive exams like the International General Certificate of Secondary Education, ICSE, and A-level exams have received top scores, either A or A+. ICSE is considered the most popular international certification at the end of secondary school, equivalent to the British O-level, UK GCSE, 5th form, or Year 11. The A-level exam is taken 2 years later. It is subject-specific, pre-university education certification. Swami says educare is not about filling children's heads with what is outside but eliciting from them what is already present within. That is pretty much all I do. There is no special technique or skill other than loving and listening, inspired by Swami. One needs to be patient, deal with every student individually based on their needs, and get them to think of what they need to learn. To do that, I start the lesson by seeing Swami in the children's seats before the lesson starts. That somehow helps the lesson flow smoothly. With Swami's grace, the kids don't seem to get bored, and time just flies. End the day with God. I have a lovely au pair who helps us with the kids. So by 8 p.m., my kids return from their classes, bathe, and have dinner. Then Hari and I sit with them to tell them stories, sing them a bhajan, and lovingly tuck them into bed. At 9 p.m., I get a little time to respond to messages, be with my husband after he's back from work, read, and unwind. I also make it a point to sit silently and send Sai love to the world and talk to Swami. Before calling it a night, when I sit by myself, I run through the day in my head and do a self-audit. Some of the things I reflect on are: 1. In what way was I of service today? 2. What was my attitude during the service? 3. Did my moods affect the way I spoke or behaved? 4. Did I connect and help the kids connect with Swami and his love during the day? 5. Was there anything I could have done better? This is an ongoing effort, so I can always be a better version of myself the next day as my offering to Swami. The more I practice these, the more I feel Swami's love and presence. I also notice that, in the process, I become more adept at whatever I am doing. Parting thoughts: as I've gone through life, I've had experiences where I've held interesting roles and titles. I have traveled extensively, thanks to SSU activities as a coordinator. At this stage, I may not communicate with as many people as I did before, but molding young minds is a big task and one I have the honor of doing. Thanks to these beautiful children. It's not just about what we do, but how we do it, that makes all the difference. And more than that, why we do it is the most important reason. This current phase has also taught me to appreciate the importance of paying attention to detail. Small changes and actions make a huge difference to how the kids behave and respond, and it always begins with me. I occasionally find time to run an SSE, size spiritual education, group 4 class, a year session here and there, pick up courses online, and become a better version of myself. All of this makes me appreciate Swami that much more. We look after just a few kids, and our day is spent, but how magnanimously and intricately he looks after each one of us, to the extent that we feel he's just mine, my personal Swami, and no one else's. To this Swami who runs all the universes and looks after me. Eternal gratitude to my eternal companion, Mrs. Seusha Haridas.